Some photos in history have done more than just freeze a moment in time. They have frozen mysteries that continue to confuse experts to this day. From an inexplicable object floating in the background of a 19th-century family portrait to strange lights floating over Depression-era New York, these photos have stumped scientists. Hey, history nuts! Before we dive into these strange photographs that have had police baffled for years, don't forget to give that subscribe button and bell icon a tap, because we're diving into some truly inexplicable on-camera moments. The Solway Firth Spaceman. In 1964, Jim Templeton took what he thought would be a routine photo of his daughter at Burgh Marsh, England. When it was developed, someone in what appeared to be a spacesuit was standing behind her. Though nobody was present when the picture was taken, Kodak experts studied the picture and confirmed that it hadn't been tampered with, creating one of photography's most mysterious moments. There are no signs of double exposure in the image of the photo, a common reason for ghostly apparitions in vintage photos. Expert analysis was conducted, which showed that the spaceman figure casts proper shadows according to lighting conditions at the time. Most interestingly, Templeton described how workers of the adjacent missile launch site had reportedly observed similar figures close to their facility. The history in the background of the photo makes the picture all the more amazing. Spacesuit designs were quite primitive in 1964, yet the individual has sophisticated elements that would not be found on actual suits for many years to come. The location itself, Burgh Marsh, was near several military installations where clandestine research was ongoing. Several witnesses reported unusual events in the vicinity at this point, though formal records remain secret. Contemporary digital analysis has merely compounded the enigma. The figure's suit demonstrates textile designs contrary to any recorded protective equipment of the time. Sophisticated photo reconstruction processes have been unable to account for how this aberration manifested on the photograph. When scanned under high-resolution imaging, the figure's proportions align with human proportions to the exactness, eliminating most photographic anomalies. The Hook Island sea monster, Robert Le Serrec, photographed what appeared to be a massive serpent creature off Hook Island, Australia, in 1964. The pictures show a gigantic tadpole form resting on the ocean floor in shallow, transparent water. Most interesting about the photos is that they are so clear and that the object was photographed several angles. Marine biologists have not been able to identify any documented species that matches the creature's appearance. The estimated 30-foot length and odd shape do not correspond to any documented marine animal. A number of experts have analyzed the water flow and lighting in the photos, confirming they show a three-dimensional object and not a shadow or surface phenomenon. The photographic evidence includes both surface and underwater shots, making staging at the time practically impossible for the technology involved. Hydrodynamics of the water displacement patterns in the photographs reveal a large object with significant density. Modern computer modeling of the water patterns around the object confirms it was behaving in ways characteristic of a large, animate object. Recent studies using advanced image analysis techniques have found previously unknown facts about the apparent anatomy of the beast. Patterns of scales that are visible on high-resolution images are unlike those of any known marine animal, living or extinct. Light reflection from the surface of the creature is consistent with biological, not man-made, origin. The Cooper family photo. In the 1950s, the Cooper family had posed for what seemed to be a normal family photo in their new Texas home. When the photo was developed, it revealed what seemed to be a body falling or hanging from the ceiling, but nothing was present when the photo was taken. Professional photographers who have examined the original negative found nothing that would suggest manipulation. The most misleading is the density and definition of the figure. Unlike most photo defects, which are hazy or transparent, this figure possesses distinct features and throws realistic shadows. Current analysis believes that the location of the figure would have been physically possible for a real person, even though no one was there when the photo was being captured. In-depth research into the history of the house uncovered that a number of mysterious deaths had been experienced there in the 1920s. Records of the property indicated owners previously had complained of strange events, although these were not known publicly at the time of photograph exposure. The Cooper family was unaware of the history of the house when they occupied it. Thermal imaging analysis of the photograph reveals cold spots at the exact location of the figure, a phenomenon that was not known or documentable in the 1950s. This feature has particularly intrigued scientists, as it shows the presence of an actual thermal anomaly during the exposure of the photograph. The SS Watertown Faces. The captain of the SS Watertown in 1924 instructed photographs to be taken after he reported noticing the faces of two deceased crew members floating on the ocean waves after being buried at sea. One of the best documented ghost photos in shipping history came about due to this event. The James Courtney and Company Shipping Company investigated the event and determined there was no photo manipulation. What makes this case of such interest is the multiple witness accounts and professional history. The ship's log records the first sighting and successive photographic attempts. The developed photographs show two unmistakable human faces in the water, with features matching deceased crew members in the view of shipmates who knew them. The original glass plate negatives were scrutinized in detail in the 1950s by photographic scientists, including specialists from Kodak. Their tests confirmed the faces were not a result of double exposure or chemical contamination when the photographs were being developed. The orientation and positioning of the faces in relation to the waves point to them either being physical entities or some unseen phenomenon. New examination of the original negative reveals that the faces show proper light diffraction in water, something which would have been extremely difficult to reproduce using 1924 technology. Specialists nowadays have pointed out how one could create such an effect if one were well versed in optical physics, something which was not well understood at the time. The Time Traveler's Watch. In 1940, cameramen photographing the reopening of South Fork Bridge near Gold Bridge, British Columbia, snapped a photograph that continues to astound experts. Standing in the crowd is a fellow sporting what appears to be contemporary sunglasses and what appears to be a graphic tee, clothing decades ahead of its time. Most striking is what appears to be a contemporary digital watch on his wrist. Fashion historians have not been able to place the man's clothing in the context of what was being worn in 1940s fashion. His sunglasses style didn't become commercially available until the 1960s. Watch historians have commented that the device on his wrist is similar to digital watches that would not be invented for another 3 decades. The man's height, as calculated from nearby objects, was around 6 feet. Significantly taller than the average height of the period. Careful inspection of the background elements of the photograph confirms its authenticity as an original 1940s photograph. The clothing of the man shows proper wear patterns and interaction with the surroundings, ruling out digital insertion. Local records of the opening ceremony of the bridge do not refer to the mysterious figure, although detailed attendance records were kept. The Hessdalen Lights. Since the 1940s, mysterious lights have been observed in Norway's Hessdalen Valley and photographed by many. Unlike the majority of light anomalies, they have been found on scientific instruments, like spectroscopes and radar. The photographs show distinct patterns of movement and color changes that are unexplainable. Scientific analysis of the photographs reveals that the lights are emitting unusual patterns of electromagnetic radiation. Their movement, as revealed in long-exposure photographs, exhibits intelligent-like behavior, making sharp turns and speed changes that are not typical of known natural phenomena. Spectrographic analysis reveals the presence of elements not typically found in atmospheric phenomena. More recent high-speed camera and spectrographic tests have only managed to compound the mystery. The lights display plasma-like behavior, but operate at temperatures and for times beyond the capabilities of existing natural plasma forms. Local geologic studies have not been able to explain the lights in terms of subterranean mineral or electrical activity. The Babushka Lady, during the assassination of President Kennedy in 1963, there were a number of photographs and films that captured a peculiar woman with what appears to be a camera. While other spectators were running for cover when bullets were being fired, she kept on filming calmly. Her position and camera angle would have provided one of the best vantage points of the assassination, but after extensive FBI investigation, she was never located, and her film was never recovered. Analysis of several photo sources reveals that she stayed in position for the entire event, only moving to achieve improved camera angles. Her camera is a high-end model for the era, indicating professional photography skills. Professional analysis of her stance and how she held the camera suggests formal photography training. What is so intriguing about this case is that she is seen in many photos from different angles and sources. Her demeanor and position suggest that she was in a very good position to see the assassination, yet never came forward to testify during the investigation. New photo analysis has tracked her movement through the event with eerie precision, and yet she remains anonymous. The Phoenix Lights. Mass sighting. In 1997, hundreds of Arizona residents photographed and witnessed a sequence of stationary lights and a massive V-shaped aircraft flying over Phoenix. What makes these photos remarkable is the number of individual photographers taking the same phenomenon from various perspectives. The sighting took hours. So much documentation was possible. Scientific analysis of the photographs shows consistent light patterns and direction in a number of photographs from different vantage points. Astronomical experts ruled out mundane explanations like aircraft or celestial phenomena. The photographs show correct diffraction of light and interaction with the atmosphere, demonstrating that they were capturing physical phenomena and not camera aberrations. Recent computer analysis of the original photographs revealed hitherto unremarked details regarding the scale and composition of the objects, indicating they were much bigger than first estimated. The uniform appearance on different types of cameras and film stocks has turned this into one of the best documented, unexplained aerial phenomena. Military reports from local bases indicate no programmed aircraft activity on the night in question. The mysterious finds continue. With every advance of photography technology, such images of the past yield up new clues without losing their core mysteries. New methods of contemporary analysis have proved their authenticity, but raised fresh questions about what is captured on the film. Each photograph is a unique challenge that questions our hypotheses about the past, as also about photography itself. These enigmatic photos remind us that even in an era of digital alteration and advanced technology, certain photographic mysteries cannot be explained. They are testament to the fact that there remain moments in the past that continue to resist being explained in conventional terms, pushing us to ask ourselves what we think we know about the past. Want to view more of these cryptic old historical photos? Add a comment below and let us know which photograph caught your eye the most. And remember to subscribe for more fascinating historical facts.